So the next topic, man, we're gonna be discussing what's her Tracee Ellis Ross, aka light skin with a big ass,
aka Sugar Mama of the Year.
Yeah. She recently did an interview with Michelle Obama.
Oh,
kind of break, huh?
That's just sad.
Yeah. So just breaking it down a little bit. Yeah, she did an interview with Michelle Obama talking about, they had various topics within the interview, but they had one little portion where she started talking about like her dating past and who she's dating currently. And, one of the things she brought up was like, she don't date older guys because they're because of the toxic masculinity. She be messing with the younger dudes, because they know how to operate a little better. They're a little more modern and stuff. So let me go.
There you go. They're just more fun, laid back, not so.
So before I play the video, man, why y'all think she's dating the younger guys, man? Why do you think she's not messing with the older dudes and she's going after the younger guys?
Simple, fun and young, full of cum.
A woman, she wanted to choke him and eat him out and dug him out. That's what she's doing to the younger dude.
I mean, I know, I mean, I don't mind getting choked, but
you're three a straight freak.
Please, like, hey, look, whatever pumps the adrenaline.
But M3, so why you think she's going after the younger guys, man?
I mean, it's easier for her to feel like she's in control. I think like throughout her dating career, I know she wants to say I think something about like older men are in a certain type of way or whatever, but she just don't like the pressure of feeling like she has to really actually have to compromise because she's Tracee Ellis Ross. She's both her parents have been famous, well-to-do. She's famous herself, got her own money, and so she's pretty much in a financial bracket. She's above most women. It just the problem is that her level of dating and being able to attain a man is pretty much average at best or whatever. I'm not trying to use a Kevin Samuels term, but
you better go look at that track record. That track record speaks something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up after
I know it looks like it's like below average, but I'm just saying average for a woman because now these days, like some of these women, they're having a hard time actually attaining a good man. You know,
you're talking about currently. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But her past be something totally different. Boy, boy, that track record, you just want to be like, well, out of all these men, you're trying to tell me you couldn't lock down one. But you know what's so funny? Just look at that track record one more time. And what do you see on that track record? It's nothing but the same thing like you, but your superstar highlight mother lovers. Ain't none of these niggas wholesome. So now you over here telling me what I really need to know. You just living in young and fast, and yet you won't be able to talk about none of these men or very sophisticated. None of the men are really homegrown. Oh, get the out of here! Look what you dated.
All right, she looked like the Wicked Witch of the West right here, boy. That's a bad shot. Look at that shit.
That's Jay.
Damn. So all right, here we go. We got the dating history. So let's take a look at the.
You see this dating history?
Is that Akon?
That's Akon's brother. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say yeah.
Okay. Greater value Akon. All right.
Yeah. It says C-lister Akon. Okay, so we got Akon's brother, Chris Webber, Nas. Damn, Nas is be liking all these earthy chicks. Henry Simmons and DeRay Davis. So okay, she
somebody doesn't show a timeline.
Notice all.
No, they got the timeline up.
Oh yeah, you have to click them and then you can see the timeline.
Oh, okay.
Individually, as far as I know.
Because right here, his is 2011 to 2013. Chris Webber was 2007.
You gotta read that. Nas was in and out moment, I think.
Yeah, Nas was just busting it down. So until he got to Khalees. Yeah, they don't have too much of the timeline on this one. Just a couple of them.
It's probably one night standards, I guess.
No, but those are celebrities. Also, you got to think about it. Stepfather is a billionaire. Mother is a multimillionaire. They're in LA. They go on to the finest schools. They're not like us at all. And she modeled and she got her first acting gig on a hit show called Girlfriends that lasted for 8 seasons. And she went on for several shows and then she did Blackish. Like she had a good career and she has access because she had that proximity. Like you
Right. So
could
why
have
is she
had
not getting a man? Why she didn't get a sophisticated man? You can't tell me you have proximity. You've been to the best schools. Where all them rich brothers at? Where all them rich brothers at in tech? Goddamn.
rich white men. You have it. You gone to the UK. You really do have access to a lot. And it's this thing what I'm noticing with everyone is like we pushing everything in the back burner and you think it's just gonna be there forever and you don't want to take a chance because of fear and control and you just can't control everything.
Yeah, it's just, man, I think it's a little bit of it's like a mixture when you get people like her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like her ego, because like she made it to a high level. So the way she views everything is just like, you know, that when some females like you got to be equal or better. But with the problem like that comes with that, she wants a successful guy, but she wants a sucker to be a successful guy. So it's a random dynamics don't always meet for what they want, because it's like I want a alpha simp. But then like what M3 was saying, it's just what was you breaking down in the beginning part, M3? What you were saying? Oh, the control. Like she's a control freak. So that's the other dynamic. And I think the reason why she dates like young guys is because, man, those are the only ones that would tolerate her. You know, because I think once you start getting older, man, the mystique of like vagina, man, we're just like, hey, man, we've been there, done that, did every position. So, you know, you're just not, oh my God, it's Tracee Ross, especially if you're successful yourself too. So I think they're a little less tolerant of bullshit when you start getting older, where she's probably, like I said, a control freak and petty. So them dudes is like, man, get your ass up out of here. So the young dudes would tolerate that shit a little bit. So really that's what it is.
And also sex. That's the whole thing when you with an older woman, it's like there's a lot of sex. And she got her own place to have sex.
Yeah, Dad, but
hey,
I mean,
I was the young guy that was dating older women because they had a house, they had cars, and I had access to sex. I knew what time it was. I knew I was gonna get it. Girls my own age was playing games, and I just go to the house. I got gifts. I got, you know what I'm saying, money.
Wait, see, Stan got that sugar mama treatment. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Go ahead, M3.
What's your stand? Like, how much older? Because it does make a difference.
We already talked about that before.
No.
This is not about me right now, sir.
Hey, don't use yourself as an example, man.
Wait, no, hold on.
But it's a good question. How much older, Stan?
No, we already talked about this before.
Wait, no, Stan, but check this out. Right? This is for educational purposes, right?
Give us a ballpark, Stan. Give us a ballpark.
No, educational purpose is this. There's a cool event that happens in Las Vegas once a year.
This.
Yeah, take yourself out of the equation, right?
It's all good. Let's jump in the video.
Yes.
But yeah, I looked up her age, so she's 52. So yeah, definitely.
Stan, if you're so sane, why you just can't reveal the number?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I already did it already. I don't want to put it out there again.
Oh, this guy.
And it says her net worth is 16 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, 30 to 40.
So her net worth is 16 million.
16?
Yeah, 16
I
million.
thought it was going to be a little bit more than that, but
shit. Yeah. Hello, after Girlfriends, and then you get Blackish. What else did she do?
Yeah,
that was significant.
Did she play like in any type of? No, she didn't even play no movie star.
No, I was like,
I mean, she did play it in. I know she was in that Kanye West. Remember the Gold Digger, and she was in there like, I told you she was gonna leave me for the little white girl.
Yeah. But all right, let's jump into the video, man. Let me know when y'all want me to stop it. And
You know?
Well, and they haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context that if it's an area that you don't have to think into,
right?
But I think there is it is a genuine regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men, and a lot of it is because
let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, "But why?" And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes.
Obama was like, I can't believe Michelle got me out here with this old 304. You got me eating dinner with this bum.
Because she wants to be right there with her. Why you think she stopped for the snaps? She was motherfucking clapping that shit up.
Obama was like, look, I can't believe you got me out here with this 304. Michelle.
You should know what he married to.
This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracee's.
It's fun. It's very fun to share.
Tracee tales.
But
I'm sorry.
But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner, and so often, and it's not just that I'm older. I'm also very embodied. I am a full
older. 52. You a goddamn grandma. She said that like she.
You're already halfway there. Halfway there.
How much 2 years older? Maybe about like 10, 20, whatever.
But I'm saying like 52, man. Just think about it. Like, man, 8 years. Like, I think when you start hitting 60s, that's a big drop. Your body starts dramatically changing. So,
Stan, you're mute.
You're on mute, Stan. Stan, you're on mute.
Bad. My bad. I'm hearing how we treating her right now, and an hour ago how we treated Shannon Sharp. Two different things. He shouldn't have done it. With her, we're like, you know what? He's gonna get some experience. And I'm like, yo, this is the same thing. You got older people who are messing with younger people, and it's all about sex and money.
Well,
and bragging rights.
And what?
That too, bragging rights.
Right.
There it is. Hey, someone bragging about it. Trust me, if you got the right person,
but Stan,
and the right scenery, that's bragging rights.
It's somewhat the same dynamic, but what would be the likelihood of like one of those guys coming out with a tape like she tried to essay me? you see the difference? Like, you're not gonna see that on the guy's end. He might go brag to his friends like, yo, I'm smashing a actress, but you know, he ain't gonna try to like come at her to clean out the pockets and smear her name and shit.
Yeah, because as society, we don't care. We don't care about the men. We don't care what we don't care what what's her name, Megan Good did to her little 20-year-old rapper boyfriend that somehow disappeared after the divorce she had with Mr. Franklin. We don't care about the dude that was with that singer with the voodoo pussy. What's her name? Was like Love My Life.
Wait,
Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu. Whenever I do
Lord have mercy.
Right? We don't care what happened to the men. They just disappear, and that's it.
Yeah,
The only man that's been smart and who came on top of all of this is Kevin Featherhorn, the one that was with Britney Spears.
Oh yeah, he's one of my role models. Yeah, he got the cash out.
Got the Moesha money. He got Britney Spears money. He got the other one, and he got fat.
You see him? He was walking around on the road. My man had a beer gut. He's like, I ain't dancing no more. He's like, I don't dance no more.
He got them.
Like, there, I got the check.
He was like, look, Brittany, you need to get back in that booth and drop another album.
Well, it's not just her. Third wife got to pay him. Even the fourth wife got nothing, and that was like 2 years, and she got to pay him money.
Yeah, no, he cashed out. But all right, man, let's get back in there because it's getting kind of good.
Very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
So I'll stop it right there, man. So what y'all take on that, man? You agree with the terminology on toxic masculinity, or?
But could it be that man is a whole person and that he has systems in place and that he had discovered who he is in his life and he wanted to invite somebody in? I mean, it's everything that she said about herself. I'm just using her words.
Yeah, sometimes it's a turnoff for like to be like a guy like who's like a free thinker, who's independent on his own right, and is not afraid to express like your boundaries and your opinions and about certain things. And I think some women, they get afraid of that because now it's like you're not a man that they could actually like tie down and lock up. Like you're actually a man that's going to put up a good fight, that's going to put her in her place. And some women like her that's not really well equipped to date like a mature man that has a broad mindset, they will rather settle with someone that's on their level. Because you're older does not mean that you're more mature than like the younger person or whoever. It's just that you just been through a lot of life experiences that you could teach and you could actually converse. But at the same time, when your mental like maturity is not up there like on par like with the average like 50-year-old man or above, you're gonna want to settle down for someone that's lesser. Plus, ain't no man that's like maybe her age or older that's also successful is going to be checking her out. Unfortunately, just like guys like Shannon Sharp,
that's what I'm about to. I like Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp would have thrown a water balloon at her ass.
Yeah, like Shannon Sharp is dating her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck.
So the point is that like if you're a man that you have a lot of options, okay, and you're pretty, you got other women coming after you. Unfortunately, people like Tracee Ellis Ross is not going to be able to get those type of men, right? That's going to be on her level and above because they're going to be looking at for some OnlyFans model or someone much younger. Unfortunately, like that's the mindset of most people who feel like they could get most of these women coming after them. And if they're younger, why would they choose older? Unless they want to just settle down, tie on a knot, and get married to one of them.
Nobody's trying to do that. Nobody's trying to get married. They ain't trying to get married.
I ain't even trying to get married. So
they ain't trying to get married.
No, I think, and it's sad because, man, they, like what she's doing, man. I think a lot of females, when they go to the toxic masculinity, it's just like, first, you just heard it. You don't really know how to define it. So you're just grabbing on anything. So it's just like, I think a lot of these females that use that terminology and then try to make the excuse why they're going younger, because I think it is a lot what M3 was saying. Like, man, they really don't have the maturity level. They're self-centered and they're just difficult to be around. So like I was saying earlier, I just think like when you get older as a man, you're just like, man, your peace, that serenity, you just like, man, I know what that needs to look like. I don't, like I said, you're not pussy whipped no more. You got that out of your system where you're just like, man, look, here's the boundaries. Here's my standards. Take it or leave it. And I think with her, man, it's just, they lack personality, man. I think their personality is just too much to deal with. So instead of them just like self-reflecting and honestly getting to that point where it's just like, hey, man, I do have a lot of like like Wally gave us the dating history. It's like, man, y'all be having a lot of boyfriends. So like one motherfucker you couldn't land, and so it's like, nah, you should be looking at it like, okay, I got a pattern now. I'm difficult to deal with. Let me fix some stuff. But instead, it's like I gotta tie myself to this theory of like toxic masculinity because I'm just a shitty person and I don't want to change. So let me go after these young guys. And them motherfuckers is leaving too, because it's not like she's like steadily with one of them young dudes. So it's just like they're not even working out.
Not at all. Because like the thing about it though, like when they're dating younger, they want you to become the man that you're not ready to become, not for them, but for another girl that's younger. That's the sad part about like when you do date older, they want you to become the man that they already dropped. And it's like, okay, I can't bring you around my mom because my mom is going to be like, you know, you can't make no kids with no powdered eggs. So why is she here? It ain't going to work. And I got some aunties that might do some stuff to you. Not physically.
I like what you said about the like. It's almost in a way like you're saying, man, they're trying to mold that young guy into like the guy that got away, pretty much. That they still fixated on that prototype. So,
and like, thank you for the lessons, but now I'm applying everything that you taught me to girls my own age or younger than her, because that's now I'm like I have this thing for like older women who have their own spot, and that's how I was in college. I'm like, you had no place to stay. I don't deal with broke chicks and homelessness.
Yeah,
that's
my facts.
Deal with it, right? But like, there's a side like when you also what I'm looking for is like now like okay, if I date older, they do want control. You start seeing it. They want control of your life. They want to know what's going on, and it's like almost like a weird Oedipus complex thing. It's like you're like they become like your mother, and it's kind of gross.
Yeah, because that's why I say it's just short term. Because you know, like the young dudes, they'll get with her. Like you said, man, we get that thrill for some of those dynamics. But man, when you go to a party around like people your own age, say like the dude that's messed with her and he's around some chicks, man, they looking right in some, man, they gonna end up smashing some of them females their age. So it's just like, man, if she's thinking like that shit gonna work out because she's just famous, it's like, man, you dumb as hell. Because most people end up with somebody around their age. If you even look at the data, most people don't date I think within 3 years of their own age. So it's like the numbers even show like this whole like age gap shit don't really happen a lot. Go ahead.
But sometimes like the 10, it's like if they're trying to do the family thing, because some people for whatever reason, right? There was one lady like she always dated older. That was her thing. She never likes younger or her age. And she dated and married a man that was 15 years older than her, and they got like 4 kids, and she happy. For some women, that's where she was at. She was like not looking for money, but she needed that, you know, she just needed that masculinity, what they consider toxic. Well, that's the masculinity that she needed, and be surrounded with that masculinity. Like the person, like he has a lot of brothers, and the father was there, so that's what she surrounded herself with, and that's what she saw herself doing. So it is like a matter of choice. If it works out, it works out. But like for women who want to push this out there, I'm like, yo, then let's talk about the breakups, because that's something nobody talks about. Like, what happened when you guys do break up? Like, how do you heal yourself? Like, what do you do? Because it's all fun and games now. But I remember we had, what's her name, Ebony K. Williams, when she said she married a law school student and she was paying all the bills and she got tired of it.
Yeah.
And dumped him. And now she got her baby for somebody that she don't know who went there for $10 in the pizza. So,
but no, that's the funny part, because man, and I didn't catch it until you said it, but it's like, okay, you dated we looked at the dating history. So yeah, you had the guys around your age. Now you got the younger guys. Them shit ain't work out. So it's like, man, you had everything in that spectrum.
And proximity. And
they
there's thing
still,
too,
yeah, like you said, all that, and it's just like it still ain't working out. So when the hell are you gonna look at yourself and be like, man, maybe I'm just fucked up? You know?
Yeah, and just know, like, about for her, right? She also had that proximity. She grew up rich. Like, rich people would rather date or marry rich people. What's that thing called? A prenuptial agreement is nothing to them. That's normal operation. That's normal operations, right? Everybody got a prenuptial agreement when they get married. They're rich. So she still have access to a lot of millionaires, billionaires, and she could get married to either one of them. But it will require for her to be a wife. And I don't think people understand what that means to be a wife or to be a husband. Because I think the same thing happened to Janet Jackson when she married that billionaire from the Middle East, and that only lasted 5 years, and she wanted to get out of it because she don't want to be a wife again. And that's something like, oh, when you're a wife, things are different. When you're a husband, things are different. It's marriage. It's supposed to be different. You can't operate like you're single. You're not single anymore.
But my thing is just like, man, it's like I hate the whole toxic masculinity, are the excuses. It's just like, man, it's all right to be like, you know what, man, I'm a little bit selfish for this type of situation, man. That's the issue. And I think people need to start getting there and being honest with themselves. Because when people always give unmarried people pushback, like, oh, why aren't you? I'm like, man, everybody don't need to be married. Like, shit, anything happen with me and my wife, I ain't getting married again. I'm not, because if you don't grow with somebody, I'm not going there. I think it should be a growth process. So it's like, man, I'm already there. Like, I went through that path with her. That's why I have that commitment level and loyalty and shit. But man,
yeah, because when you get older, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, but I'll just be honest. I'll be too selfish, a little self-centered, and I like my time and things a certain way, but I'm not gonna sit there and flip it on somebody, oh, toxic femininity and oh, they like this. I'll be like, nah, man, I just like my own shit. I'm greedy, goddamn it.
No, and you should be, because like here's something that people don't talk about is the fact that you already live a life, and then what's ahead of you is a little bit shorter. You already gone to 2/3 or 2/4 of your life, and now you have another half to go. And are you gonna spend that other half like chasing somebody, going through rigmarole, and also not knowing this person that you invited into your life is actually using you for retirement? A retirement plan or exit strategy to have access to money. And that's the part where nobody wants to talk about, which is, ladies, the same thing happens to you when you guys get caught up in this romantic or romance scams, and they take away your life savings. Same thing goes for men too. We have to address that, because again, Ellie, what's her name is, Tracee Ellis.
Yeah,
she's
Tracee
not
Ellis.
like she's not like us. She still have proximity. She just needs to choose. There's a man that's in his 50s, 60s, 40s, or even 70s that can match her. She just needs to choose to be a wife. Because she has
just admit to herself, like, I don't really want that, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, you don't got to fixate it on the other side. It's like, man, you could just be honest, like, hey, man, I'm not built for that, man, because I'm a little self-centered, I'm a little selfish. Shit.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm gonna jump back in the video.
All right.
No,
Craig.
I was gonna say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
Too big of a
it's a
generalization.
generalization,
Yeah.
but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that
Exactly.
that there's times
I hear you.
where I'll be sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match.
Yeah.
And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up.
Yeah.
That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies.
Well, real quick, if she had asked me that question, I would just playfully say, like, well, I got my stuff ready for you in the bedroom. So, you want to know where it's at? Hey, come to a crib, man. I got it for you. Simple as that.
Man, should go ahead and DDT you and eat the gooch and come out with a strap on. Don't. That was
she want control. You might not want to go over there with her. She gonna be over there burning you with hot wax, whipping the shit out of you. Like you might not be ready for that M3.
Yeah, because when she said that, I was like, oh shit, it's a kink play. Like, okay.
She said what?
There's the part where they have to have the ownership too, right? You cannot. Okay, I don't want to go there, but I might have to go there a little bit. I'm going to try to phrase it in a PC manner. Where our people, as Black people, we're very homophobic. And it's strange to hear this conversation from Black women who wants men to be gender fluid. And it's confusing to hear that when there's always been a pushback of Black men who are bisexual or asexual, or we call it on the DL, but like it's it doesn't match for me. It just doesn't match because for decades it's always bad for men to have any form of sexuality, but it's okay for women to have sexuality. So women kiss women have threesomes with trans women and trans men, women and men, women pulling out dildos on a man and then shaming a man later in public. It's like, I'll see that as like a setup, because in our culture, it's just like, where is this coming from? Because it's like, now we're this way now. And it's like, wait a minute, there hasn't been a transition.
So you're saying
it's a cap. I'm calling cap.
What is her talking about, like the
her
openness and like them being understanding?
Yeah, that's not where we at as a people. I'm sorry, that's not it.
Okay, I got you. At first, I was like, what the?
Yeah, like, see,
where we going with this shit?
Yeah, so I'm just like, yo, this is cap. It's another way for you to shame men, shame Black men. And I'm just like, yo, like, white men don't do this stuff either. So either you are, you're not, and if you are, it's cool. But that's where we're all at. But like, to make it like that, like these older men needs to be freaks. Look, y'all too old for new strongholds. That's my thing for anybody older. If you're 35 plus, you're too old to do new strongholds. You don't need no new strongholds. You don't need no new habits. Don't be taking no pink cocaine allegedly from P Diddy. You don't need to go no parties. You ain't miss out on nothing. Just chill out. There's nothing wrong with like Smallville sex. Have boring, regular, Ma and Pa Kent sex. It's okay. You from Kansas, just do it that way. Tab A into slot B. It's okay. If you want to explore stuff with your partner, fine. But like, yo, like, to put this onus on somebody, it's like, yo, that's not fair to that person, because you don't know where that person had to live and where that person had to come from. And then here you are, but I don't feel like it's my right to cheat somebody. You're a human being. You had experiences that a lot of us never had and never will have, because Dana Ross is your mama. And Dana Ross, the last husband she got, was a multi-billionaire. Mm-hmm. I believe he's on NASA's, or whatever his last name is. So y'all was like, y'all rich.
But let me. Man, it just ties back into control. Because first of all, it's like, why are you? And I had to have this conversation with somebody where I was just like, hey, man, the issue with a lot of y'all females, man, y'all so intolerant of somebody having like a different view from you. You know, if I have my point of view, it's just like, first of all, why the fuck will we be talking about a lot of that stuff? And we're in this heterosexual relationship. I don't give a damn about nobody else. Like, do y'all, man? Like, we should be just focusing on each other. But it's just like, you know, when they're kind of got that bratty, self-centered mindset, it's almost like they feel like you should adopt all their philosophies. You should be involved in all their like save the world initiatives. You know, like, because a lot of those type of females, I think when they grew up like super rich, where, you know, it's almost like they got this sense to them where it's like, man, I want to be involved in this. I want to be involved in this. I want to advocate for this group.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't have no issues with no group, but it's like, man, I like keeping shit simple. Kind of like what you were saying, Stan, where it's like, man, I go out there, we conquer the world, we go to work, man, I'm chilling. Like if I help somebody out, I help them out on my terms, but man, I don't need to think like you. And I think it's just where the issue she's having, and it's making more and more sense. It's just like, yeah, she damn near want a girlfriend, honestly. I think a lot of the women where they want that guy so like feminine and stuff, and they, you know, but alpha at the same time, like I said, it's like a contradiction, because this is like, oh well, I want him to think like this, I want him to do like this. It's like, man, you don't want him a person with free thought?
Yeah. No,
you want a robot?
Bills. That's what she want. Go ahead.
Well, hold on, guys. Let me just tell you this, right? It's something deeper, right? And most people are not going to really think about this. But since we're talking about this, let's go ahead and get this to the nitty gritty, right? Where it be about like dumbass politics, sexual orientations. So, an example, if you was a guy that let's just say like you wasn't really like all that homophobic, but you just don't really get down with like with the cause. That's just not your forte. So you just leave it as it is. Like, hey, well, they do what they do, but I'm not it. You know, I'm not supporting it. You know, I don't care about it. And they're so like passionate. They like to use the term passion or whatever, but to me, I'm just like, you just being an asshole. And they want you to conform like the way they want to conform. It's because there's a historical timeline that most of them are not really sharing yet, that, hey, at some given point, these women actually tried other women. Or maybe their first dates was with other women. I'm not saying with Tracee Ellis Ross, but kind of like, let's just say allegedly, we're going to just kind of pretend like if that was the case, right? Because most of these women want to have a niche or a fantasy, right, to perform threesomes. If you have some type of history where a woman has been with another woman, most likely she is going to advocate for sexual liberation for all genders because she's been in that type of situation. And she still want to perform that where, hey, okay, as we get deeper into the relationship, I want to have a threesome, maybe with two guys, and I want my man to participate. Or I want to have a threesome where I'm going to introduce my lesbian lover, you know what I mean, to my new dude. And since he's young enough and he has the vitality, and he's going to damn near do what I tell him to do, he's going to be more open, more liberal, more available to participate in these type of activities.
You know this song like M3? It's on Spike Lee, She Gotta Have It.
Basically,
no, that's what that movie, if you get a chance to watch it.
You said She Gotta Have It?
Yeah, that's the name of the movie.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, that's because she was dude. I agree with it, but like you can't.
You say you agree with that?
I agree with him, but here's something. Black men speak up, he's sassy. Black men have their own identity. Like, I'm not painting my nails, but they do. Oh, that's not masculine. Oh, why he's into himself. Oh, he's a narcissist. So like, yo, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a jump because we're not there yet. Like, what are we talking about? Like, there was like something happened in Texas where a person put out a list of men who was into her or dated her, and she's transgender, and now they calling Texas adjacent to Atlanta, right? And so, like, you cannot tell me that you want all black men to be gender fluid when I'm seeing the attack on black men every day. Like, it just not, it just doesn't add up, right? It's just like what comes up right now is like there's another excuse of how bad black men is. And that's what it's looked like to me. Like, this is the whole thing because I'm like, yo, Michelle Obama, your husband did more for LGBTQ than he did for black people. So you got to go ahead and advocate for your husband because he did some stuff, but you're not. We're all now getting like, well, black men don't support nobody. Yo, black men don't go to school, don't get educated. They barely get the jobs, homeless, trying to figure things out, don't get support. And we got mental health on top of that. Like, what do you want from these black men? But I'm saying, like, what do you want from these black men who are struggling right now, and you're not giving them a role to go ahead and achieve what they need to achieve to have basic human rights, just basic human rights to food, shelter, and just and take care of their mental health without being shamed. So I don't get it because to me this is like, yo, like, you are you like another Jada that you turn out these young men out? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing here now. You're a vampire.
Jerk, I know you but you mind if I just add something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's another problem, and I'm just only speaking for black men only stand, right? We're still constantly undergoing through like a lot of high stress and pressure. And the pressure is that like you said, like they advocate and they want us to so-called be gender fluid, but then it's like the pressure that comes into us that our own community at the same time expects us to be hyper masculine. Think about that.
Which is the absence of real masculinity. And I'm like, yo, like, hyper masculinity is the absence of masculinity because you didn't grow up with a father, and then you become like Shannon Sharp up here impregnating people and saying you're gonna choke them and pay the money. So like,
yeah. But let me jump in there real quick. But I don't think it's that deep. Because I really just think it's about her, man. And I think the way like entitled people view life, like I said, it's because, man, you look at how a lot of females operate, man. They want to be supportive to, like, if you donate to everything, Dr. Umar, whatever, man, whatever new fad come out, they're going to be supportive of it. And I think they think everybody needs to, it's almost like they want their guy to adapt all their movements that they want to support. And, guys, we're just like, man, we stay focused, especially if she's messing with successful ones. Like, hey, man, yeah, I might throw some dollars at a campaign, but I don't have to, go out there with no picket signs and adopt your philosophy and stuff. But so that's why I said that's what she kind of wants somebody to do. So it makes sense why she's kind of messing with younger guys, because it's, they're going to get on board what she wants to do. But on the flip side, that's probably why her relationships don't work, because then she starts despising them once they do that. So it's almost like, oh, look at this little motherfucker following me around and talking like me. So she's just putting herself in purgatory, because it's like, hey, I don't like this dynamic of guys that tell me no. So I go to this dynamic of guys that tell me yes, but that still don't work out. So that's why I'm saying the issue is her. I don't think it's like as deep as all the other stuff, because she just don't know what the fuck she wants.
But Jay, it is deep. It is that deep, because where everyone was against Shannon Sharp for being with a 20-year-old girl, white girl, and he was a big black man, bad black man. And then you have her having a conversation with, the president's wife, first lady, And this platform is a lot different. Is up there with Oprah, right? And it's like, yo, like when you put this stuff out here and it's become more acceptable, I have to say, yo, this is the same, but also this is a little different. And yeah, it's important because the expectations on, once again, like, on black men is not fair when you don't have Maslow law. Like, they need a place to live, they need to work, they need to support their health, they need to support their mental health. If that man does not have the basics and build himself up, and then you got more expectations on him, it's like the list. I know we're going to do a show on the list, right? Because the women have more lists for us to do and what not to do. It's like that. And it becomes like one more pressure for men, especially black men. And also, like, yo, we're Generation X. What's she talking about not being open and fluid? Like, I don't need to sleep with you to be fluid or be open. I have a lot of friends. I don't hate them. I have relatives. I don't hate them. Like, yo, like, that's, to me, that's an insult to assume that grown men out here are like just caveman out and toxic. That is something that we do have to push back and challenge. And because we push back, right? Oh, hold on. Just because we push back, what we get called? We get called sassy. And like, and if you get rid of the A in sassy and put I in it, what exactly is that word now?
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is it?
SASSY. But we get rid of the A and you put the I in it, and I don't want the channel to close down, but we know what that word stands for.
Yeah.
That's a fighting word, right? For us when we hear it. And so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, ladies, you're not slick. We see through the, when you saying sassy, what you really want to call us is that other word. And like, and you look at what's his name, August Austina. Look what happened to him.
But he was messed up before. Because that's why I just don't want to conflate too many things. Because first of all, like, I mean, we're giving pushback. Because I see a lot of more guys speaking up about this stuff and calling out their behavior. So we're doing that. The only reason I kind of stop certain things is because I don't want to give them no power, to where it's just like, she's just fucked up. Like, I mean, that's just the bottom line. Yeah. And I just think as guys, man, we gotta, it's like you were saying, you got to build yourself up regardless, what you're given in life. And, you got to learn how to start spotting, bad behavior and staying away from it. Because that's the issue as guys. Like, the difference between her and Shannon Sharpe is like, even though both dynamics, I don't agree with them. I think you shouldn't really mess with younger people. That's just my thing. I always give pushback to it because I'm like, man, get somebody your age, man, But on Shannon Sharpe's dynamic, he's getting caught up in a whole fiasco where on her side, guys don't operate on that. So even though I don't agree with both dynamics, like, she ain't got people like kind of taking her to court and stuff like that. So that's where you can't like, conflate both of them. So they're both wrong acts, but yeah, Shannon Sharpe, he went for the OnlyFans girl that it was almost like damn near like what you expect to happen with her. It's, I don't know what type of guy she's dating, but it's not to that
dating
deficit.
She's OnlyFans. They're volunteers. That's what they call you guys when you guys go date somebody from OnlyFans. When they have you sign the NDA, you're a volunteer. So you could be filmed and record, and they could sell the work forever and ever.
Yeah, but just getting back to her, I just think, man, like it's that entitlement. It's she just, man, a control freak, and man, like they so conflicted with all the stuff that they want, man. It starts contradiction, and they don't like none of it. And so that's just the reality. So, like you said, it can cause some pressure for guys, but honestly, I just think guys need to like start understanding it and stay away from it. And I think that's kind of what she's experiencing, honestly, because that's why when they gotta put it like a toxic masculinity, like I said, they gotta attach to those words.
Yeah,
that means that they're analyzing all this stuff and they're not coming up with a good explanation. So it's like, oh my God, I heard that on a podcast with some other bitter females that can't get no dick. So you know what? It's toxic masculinity, Michelle. So like when the people use certain terminology that can't really be defined. Nah, that's what it is, man. Because man, when people use certain words and there's really no meaning for it, it's they're lost. And the answer typically is like they're just screwed up. But it's like I gotta try to push that on everybody else, which shows another layer of their like issues and shit. So that's what I'm saying, man. That yeah, I had to take that shot. But, because this is so cheesy. Oh, toxic masculinity. It's like, man, where'd you hear that off of? Like, what female podcast that just came out? Because the word is like fairly new. So that's how she can't define what the hell she's really saying. She's just like, let me throw that out there. Just
and
to
to
take
my
a swipe at these
defense,
dudes.
like, I don't feel like I need to explain. Here's something, everybody. We can't read minds. That's something that across the board, no matter how old you are, and you can't assume that somebody has like your same ideals and have your same process. Is not fair to that person. They're their own person. They live their own life, and they come to their own conclusions. You do have to communicate, point blank, always.
And that's what I'm saying. You gotta be such a. If you're just intolerant to anything, and don't get me wrong, there's some stuff that you need to be intolerant to, but for the most part, if like you said, if people have different experiences, man, that's a learning opportunity. So when people they can't accept somebody else having a different opinion. That's why I say, and that's some deep rooted like control freak issues. And that's what I'm saying. So it shows some mental shit and it shows some insecurity because it's like, I got to have everybody be the same as me and they got to have the same thoughts. And yeah, it's like, God damn. But let me play this one because it kind of exposed this other clip. It was like another segment from the interview where she talks about grief of being single. So I think this is really what it is. And that's why she's trying to throw them labels on us guys. It's her own bad decision making that's kind of hitting her in the face at that age of 52. So I think she's coming to that realization of like, damn, I fucked up and made some bad decisions. So I gotta come up with a diagnosis why this is wrong. And I think that's what the issue is a lot of times in America. I think instead of self-reflecting, we need a diagnosis for everything. And I think, a lot of people con people. So they're like, oh yeah, it's just, you're dealing with toxic masculinity. It's not you, but hey, come to my office and we could talk about this. I charge $150 an hour. So it's like, I'm gonna keep you lost. I'm gonna keep you lost in all this stuff and blaming other people, man. I'm gonna squeeze every penny out your ass.
Allegedly. Not all therapists is like this.
No, I'm not, because there's different types, but I'm just saying, man, that this is what a lot of people do, man.
I did dream of my wedding growing up. And that's not to say that I didn't dream of the bigness of my life. And, as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
That's a great point for people to hear.
I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I think of what I've done and I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know. Sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
And it's built a really beautiful experience around me. And I have incredible friends.
You do.
I did.
They all hate her good.
I had a problem that I had no one to hide behind. So that's what happened in these marriages, SJ and M3. Y'all be hiding behind y'all wives?
Nah. That's self-centered people, man, that want to like hide behind somebody instead of like going out there and building with them. So that's what I'm saying. When she's talking, I'm glad you caught that because when she said that, I'm like, hide behind. What do you mean?
I was like,
are you gonna be fucking up the situation? You supposed to be like, we supposed to be shielding each other and building up the right way. So damn, what you hiding from?
Yeah, cause I was like, wait a minute, that's a. I never heard of it that way. Hide behind a person, but like,
like she trying to use you from like, you remember that in New Jack City when Nino Brown picked up the little girl? Like,
oh yeah.
like, baby girl, I ain't trying to be no shield. What fuckery you trying to bring in my life? You got to hide behind some shit. God damn it.
Oh, shoot.
Damn.
Wally, where you at, Wally?
Wally probably had on Tracee Ross's
Email.
DMs like, look, I'm young.
I got
Wally, look, I got that horny goat weed. He's like, I got a good back. He's like, I don't know what jerking them motherfuckers talk about. Look.
You're like, look, I'm the best YN that money could buy.
Sugar mama, the whole situation. Look, like I said, every 2 weeks I need that haircut. You know what I'm saying? I need my funding so I can just fund this business. You know what I'm saying? You know, get things right in every area. But yeah, what's going on there?
Wally said, leather ain't cheap.
You won't have to pay for your recording.
What you talking about?
For your masters, for your rap album.
Wally could be dropping mixtapes. Talk about the Tracee special.
I'll do more than just mixtapes. I'll be writing on the sidelines. I'll be in the cut.
So Wally, man, you think she need to lay off the YNs? What do you think she need to do, man, to get herself fixed?
You know what they say? A lot of people are stuck in their ways by this time of days. So I don't really know. But but one thing I will, chime back into as far as what she threw into the video. I mean, since pretty much y'all are just cutting up throughout the whole thing. Because there was one thing she threw in there when she was talking about quote unquote toxic masculinity men. She mentioned the word culture. And I was like, I find it interesting she would choose that word because it's like, okay, so what ideals, culture are you involving yourself into, or what you breed yourself into that seems okay for you, but it's not okay for what the man's brewing, especially within his life?
Yeah, we did touch that a little bit because it's like it's not fair that person have lived his own life. That person had come to their own conclusion. And also, where we at this day and age, all of us, if you Gen X and under, this is nothing to you. This is our culture. Like we're not the boomers or anything else. We've been very open and we all have friends from all different lifestyles and races and culture. Like it's a slap in the face and disrespectful for her to say that to me because like, yo, like you making us like we're not progress, and whatever progress you've seen, that's because of your lifestyle that you live being a billionaire, which is not the same as a millionaire. You're a billionaire. You belong to the Onassis. That's who your parents were married to. And they got 2 black sons who are Onassis. So y'all don't do Holiday Inn. Y'all like rich Asians. So
Stand going in, fuck.
So like, yeah. So that's the thing, like for her, when she says she don't feel like she wants to explain things, that's why I said, like, yo, you can't do that because we're not the same people, and you should explain stuff because somebody's being brought into your world, and you need to share. And also, you don't know their world, so you don't know, and you need to listen. That's what I'm seeing. Like everybody's going around like people need to know what they need to know, but nobody knows because you're not being open.